Hey guys, Coach Jay here. Today we're going to talk about not taking your health for granted, and I got the perfect story because prior to Thanksgiving, I had been on a journey where I was doing about 2 hours a day of workouts, a lot of times 30-minute chunks, and so I was down about 12 pounds, and I was feeling pretty good about everything. I felt like I was in really good health. I was walking about 2.5 miles a day, 10,000 steps. And then I was riding my bike 8 miles about 4 days a week. So, nice and steady and losing weight. I'm feeling better. But then I go out of town. I go up to South Carolina to see my daughter. And temperature in South Carolina was like 25 degrees. I live in Florida, and we're dealing with, like, it was like 75 here when we left, but it was 25 degrees. And on top of that, her kids were sick. And so her daughter sneezed on me when I was helping try to hold her. She didn't feel good. And but just kind of the perfect storm of really cold temperature, dealing with being around some people that were sick, and then my sleep always gets a little bit messed up when I'm on the road, staying in hotels and all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, this message really applies to me because I've been sick for an entire week. It feels like the flu. So I haven't done any videos. I plan on doing videos all week long, but I haven't done any because I feel like crap. So when I was on my ride home on Sunday, I started feeling it, and then Monday it hit me pretty hard. Um, so I've been doing, a lot of fevers and stuff like that, body aches, and I'm not used to being sick. I don't get sick that much. I take a ton of vitamins, and so I'm not usually dealing with that. So it's kind of kicked me pretty good. But I think that, just from an athlete's perspective, you got to be really careful about taking your health for granted, and all athletes do until they get injured. And then all of a sudden, they're out for 30 days, 90 days, 6 months, and then all of a sudden they kind of appreciate it. But I think you just always have to be careful that you don't take good health for granted. It is something that you continue to work on. And, as far as with my guys I work with on is, we're constantly trying to get good quality sleep, 8 to 9 hours sleep a night. Also trying to eat good quality foods. So more protein, carbs, veggies, fruits, stuff like that. Less sugar. Um, and so when you're doing those kind of things, which I do, typically you're not gonna be running into this kind of stuff. But I think just being right in the face of it, it was unavoidable to a certain degree. She sneezed right on my little granddaughter sneezed right on my face. So, I love her and I want to help out. And so if I get sick, that's kind of a part of the risk reward with something like this. So, I feel bad for her being sick. And but all that being said, we can reduce the chances of us being sick by taking good vitamins, vitamin C, zinc, um, magnesium, potassium. A lot of my athletes take that stuff. Multivitamin, vitamin D. I take B12 as well, and that's a good energy vitamin as well. But vitamins are a big piece of it. Healthy, I mean, just quality food, and definitely just getting quality sleep, and not being around people that are sick. So I just wanted to kind of just check in. Haven't done a video in over a week. I kind of did a barrage of videos right before I went on Thanksgiving break, and thought I would come right back in and be able to continue on that pace, but I hadn't been able to. But I'll be back healthy. My wife is getting me a ton of stuff to get me back up and rolling, and I haven't missed any appointments. Hadn't missed one appointment. Well, I missed one, and that was just because it was in person. I didn't want to take a chance of getting them sick. But I've done like 35 appointments in 5 days. So, I'm not missing appointments. So it don't matter how I feel. It's what your job is I'm on a mission. I'm on a mission to help these kids. I'm on a mission to help them play better, and have more fun playing their sport. And so it don't matter if I'm sick. Nobody cares. Except my wife. So the reality is I don't feel good. I hadn't slept in a couple of days, and it's just, price of admission. Keep rolling. But I you know, we just gotta, we gotta do our job. And that includes me. I'll take off 3 or 4 days because I don't feel good and I didn't sleep. With the trains keep moving and everything keeps rolling. So all that being said, I hope you guys will like some of my videos. I hope you'll subscribe. I hope you'll add a nice comment in there, something like that. If you want to put an unnice comment, that's okay too. If you disagree with something, I'm just here to help, and I'm not here to judge anybody or things like that. I'm just, I work with mental performance with high school athletes that are going to play in college as well as college athletes, and so there is a formula for people to perform at a higher level. And most kids don't really understand that as teenagers, and parents don't either. But when you've been studying it for 25 years, you got a pretty good feel for how it works. So, all that being said, the show must continue to go on. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for watching my videos and have a great week. God bless.